Welcome to Whopper Room. Okay, let me grab this pencil. I keep getting freaking disconnected for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I keep getting disconnected. I just thought I'd come here and visit with you and show up in your house on your television screen or computer screen or cell phone screen, whatever screen you use to log on. And let me see. I gotta make this a little lighter. Where's the... Grab this. Shitty day in New York. Everything is as normal. Crackheads are out there working and criminals are out there doing their job, as always. Prostitutes are prostituting. Artists are drawing. We artists have a great relationship with the prostitutes. They just think there's something wrong with us. Because when we hire them, we don't want to fuck them. We just want to draw them. You sure, Daddy? You sure, Daddy? Daddy, you sure? A little licky lick? No, baby. Just pose there. What do you like, this type of pose, Daddy, with my ass up? No. Something more elegant. A little more... Relax the butt ass, the butt cheeks. Just trying to make a painting here. Yeah, so everything is pretty normal in New York. So we're here playing with this, and this sketch here, it's so bad. So bad. Let me see over here. You see, the thing with charcoals, when you do charcoals, you gotta put your layers down. And what's the tissue? I'm gonna show you guys a nice trick. I have the hand towel. I grabbed a piece. I wanna start pulling a piece if I don't have to cut another piece. Oh, well, here we go. Let's say you grab your tissue. Let me cut half of it. You fold it. You prefer to get one that doesn't have like any flowers or anything like that. And if it does, try to bend it in the side that has no print. Like this has print, right? We don't want to use that part. We use this part. Then we fold it. And then we fold it again. Like that. So, let's say we were doing a sketch. Oh shit, shut up. Shut up. I hate when a freaking phone does that to me. Why? Fucking, these cables, they just, you hear, every time you hear that beep beep, that's the phone disconnecting from the cable. There we go again. Let me get a piece of paper here. Let's do it here. Let's do it here. Okay, let me do it here. I want to be careful. I don't want to. But in fact, let's use the soft charcoal. That's another thing. Like if you have a soft, medium, and hard, and you want to do that first initial sketch, do you use a hard, like a hard one, where it's going to be a lot lighter, the mark, or a medium, or a soft? A soft would be like the charcoal would be dark, because when you draw with a soft, you're putting down more charcoal, so the mark is going to be a lot darker. So for your initial sketch, you sometimes, depending on you, for me, I prefer a soft, because then I'm able to come with the hand towel and get my midtones and real quick, which I'm going to show you how I go about doing that. Let me find something here. Find something that I cut. Let's go in here. Find yourself a drawing, something to work from. A charcoal, whatever it may be. I'm going to show you guys how you could build up some quick values real quick. Like this is like a real quick way. Just bear with me, guys. Matter of fact, that would have been. Let's do this one in charcoal. He's here. Okay. Let me see if I can find a spot. Let's put it right here, this side right here. Okay. So let's say we come here. We're going to do a quick head, right? We're trying to capture the shape of this. We have less forehead because opening up his mouth, expanding those cheek muscles, and when you do that, you see less of the forehead. Just gonna do this real quick. There's no eyes here. Capture the nose. And you guys know I can draw better than this, but just to show you a quick example how I go about getting those midtones and values real quick. And then right here. Okay, then you got the mouth. And then you're gonna have the neck, right? Let's go this way. Neck muscles. Over here. You want to put something down before you start carving things out start carving the drawing out. Which I like to work like this, basically get the placement, proportions where things go. Once you're pretty happy where things are, where things supposed to be, the distance of, let's see, something like that. And we have a lot of charcoal here. We got things up there. We got shadows here. More charcoal here. Now their neck is stretching out this way. And then over here, it's coming that way. And this is coming this way, right? Okay, so we got something like that, right? So then you come with the sutra and you just do this. You see how I already have made flesh tones? And then over here, I'll grab this side and go this way. Just with the tissue. You see? Then over here, and then this way. Try to go with the direction. Right? And then the corner of the paper, little by little, you move the charcoal around. It's like clay, it's like you're carving with it, molding the shapes. Right? That's the mouth. And then you come back and you continue to work and add more charcoal on top of charcoal. And you make some areas you see that? And then your finger come back, but in that drawing there, it's really, you can't really see much. But it's just basically, it's not a full, you see a little bit, you see the nose, the eyes, the shadows, but you don't see every single part of the face. It's like really, and what he did, this is called skimming. I don't know if you know, ever heard what skimming is. Skimming is a way of putting paint down and then removing it. And then breaking it down to where you barely see the image, and you work with it that way. You come and you remove and soften edges, and you apply, remove, like that. And then you remove, but what you remove, you put somewhere else. Like I would remove, and I'll throw it towards something else. So you gotta work smart. You gotta, okay, I'm gonna be removing this. What else am I gonna be working on this painting? That whatever I'm gonna be removing, I can continue to apply what I'm removing here and put it over here. You get what I'm saying? So, and you build your character like that. But just with that one, it's a good aside. People think that sometimes you do an oil painting. People, you've heard of doing a grisaille where you put grays, then you put your colors on top and glazes to build your shadows. But there's also a grisaille where you do your colors and then you put the colors on top. You use the gray, the black and the white, mix the gray, very thin out, and you give it a wash over your flesh tones to kind of neutralize the whole painting, to take that mannequin look off the flesh tones. Which there's nothing wrong with the mannequin look if you want that. I mean, like impressionists, the artists back then. A yellow face looks nice, you know. You can even just paint somebody with a blue face. If you mix the right values, right tones, it will look good. So, now you saw the way, now being that the nose here is coming, going, looking this way up, so I'm seeing the whole bottom of the nose. I gotta get me a better phone. This phone, my screen is broken. And you know, I had a good phone. I really had a good phone. But I had a problem, and my son and me are not talking, and he put me in his account, and I was paying $10 for my account. It's, you know, like if you have, the more people you have in your account, the less you pay. So he got a phone through the company and an iPhone, and I told him, listen, you know, I have the iPhone 11. Why would I, you know, take that iPhone, which is older? So I told him, why don't you take that phone and give that one to your your mother-in-law, your girlfriend's mother. Check if she needs the phone. So, then when, I don't know what happened when he just stopped talking to me. I didn't do anything to him. That's what pisses me off, because usually when someone is angry, it's because you've done something, and I've been crazy trying to figure out what I've done wrong. And so my phone, those people are thinking that my phone is that phone that I told him to give to his mother-in-law, and they're mixing it up with that phone, and I can't activate it. I couldn't do anything with the damn phone. So I was trying to call him and say, listen, you know, let those people know that that phone that you when you deactivated my account, tell them that that wasn't their phone, you know. But I haven't been able to get in contact with him for him to do that. So I'm stuck with this cheap, what's your phone? Broken screen. And I don't understand, how could they mix my phone with that, with it being their phone? These people are so fucking stupid. You know, I don't understand that. I really don't. I hate to explain it because it kind of makes you feel like people are going to think that something else that's not true. Because we had unlimited. I mean, how the fuck can you fuck up these days with not paying not paying the bill unlimited? It's not like they surprise you with $1,000 bill in the end. You know, it's no. It's $100. You got 3 phones, and that's how it was. And but I don't know. So when I type, sometimes the screen is shattered. I can't touch the wrong letter, and it's a problem. And to go buy a phone is, you know, I can't afford to go buy a iPhone. Then there's a phone that's here that used to be his, that's better than what I have, but I can't use it because I don't know the code to go in the phone, and then when you try to log on with the phone, you have to have the Google password, or Google Cloud thing, which he would have to remove it from. But that's a phone he purchased that he's not using anymore, that he bought. But it's a lot better than what I have. But I don't know, guys. You see how all this? You see that? You see that? That's the fun part when you do these sketch building like that. Then you're just building up, but you gotta have the hands help for that, and you build things up. You put charcoal down enough, and you end up kind of knowing how much you need to put down to build shapes. Okay, so then I come here and I pull this in this way, like that, then this one I go up that way. You see that? And then you gotta kind of, but remember this face here doesn't really have anything, because there's no eyes, it's just shapes of an eye. But over here, this nose has to come a little higher. Okay, so now if I gotta come higher, then I gotta do this. I'm really uncomfortable holding all this, holding the damn phone. And any mistake you make, you'll be able to recover. Can get it this way. And yeah, I'm just really right now, I'm not being all that precise. I'm just, like this is the one I was working before, this one here. And it was done similar to that. And that was quick. And that was really quick. Remove, and continue to build. Then I come back and soften these edges. And that's the fun part about this drawing like this, is you put down, then you play with it. Okay, that's in watercolor that I did. Now this is a cheap sketch pad from the dollar store. I recommend buying them. They're not very good, but they're good to do sketches, to practice, and to continue to practice with your drawings, and do a lot of sketches. Draw, draw, draw. Everything in your house, you can draw it. Put your headphones on and practice and draw. When you go outside, take a sketchbook, and you see people in the park, get yourself some dark shades. Learn how to turn your face in a way that if anyone was to look at you, they would think you're looking this way, but you're looking at them because you're wearing the sunglasses. You see what I mean? So I look this way, but my eyes are looking that way. and I'm looking at the person and I'm drawing it, but I have the dark shades, the mirror glass, which is going to help me to capture the values of the face a lot better. So you look at the person, you gotta make quick judgments when you look at a person. How long do you think that person is gonna sit for? Do you wait for someone else to come and sit? Well, it's a cheap sketchbook, so hey, if he gets up and leaves on the same page, draw someone else. When he gets up and leaves, draw someone else and continue to draw that way. And draw like if paper was expensive, that you need to use every piece of that paper and draw as much as you can and draw faces. People always have a certain part about their face that stands out, either their eyes, their nose, their chin, something. Like this guy from the talk show, what's his name, that has the big jaw. That's his feature, that big jaw. Um, Everybody has something. It could be a haircut. It could be the way the person combs his hair. It can be the nose. It can be the eyes. It can be anything. It can be something. Andy Warhol was the hair, right? The white hair, the way it stood up in the top, And you can put that hair on a dog, and you know right away that's Andy Warhol. So try to spend your time practicing drawing and do it that way. And then also get yourself books from artists that you admire, look at their drawings, but also choose a good artist. Just because the artist, you admire his work, but is he the type of artist that's good for study? Are you going to learn anything by a person that's just painting all the canvases red? Okay, you like the red paintings, but what the fuck are you going to learn from the guy? What? So you got to kind of know what artists to want to practice from that are going to help you better yourself as an artist. And find out, what colors they use and learn how to mix with those colors and stuff like that, which this is all stuff that you should know already. Because this is how I started. I would practice and study artists for years. I've been doing this 40 years and I'm still studying Sargent. And Zorn and Velasquez, Rubens. And after studying them for so long, after a while your work, you will see little things that look like Sargent. You'll be a combination of all the artists that you admire. Your work would reflect that. In the end, that's who you are. That's your signature. And from the very beginning, you always have a signature. You might not see it, but something, a stroke, the way you use the brush, something. You just have to find out what that is and make that your trait where it's you become better at it. And but draw. A lot of drawing is very important. And don't believe what people tell you. Oh, don't do watercolor because it's hard. I hate when people make those stupid, don't do this, don't do that. It's not, Because when I first got into watercolor, That's all I heard at the art studio. Leo, don't do watercolors too hard. All the oil painters would tell me this. But then I was like, but I read so many books and Sargent did a lot of watercolor. So if it's so hard, why did Sargent do watercolor? I mean, so I'm not going to listen to these people. I want to do watercolor. And I did watercolor. But then it's hard because you don't do watercolor like you're trying to train yourself the way you're training yourself in oil paint. You don't say, well, no, you train like you're supposed to train. If you're an oil painter, you continue to train as an oil painter. Watercolor is just something else that you do as a sketch. When you go out, you sketch what you see and you do your watercolor. And that by itself is going to develop slowly. It's like when you go to classes at the leader, so what classes are you going to take? Oil painting, drawing, watercolor, pastel, charcoal. Well, you're going to learn charcoal while you're learning how to paint because you do your initial layers. When you started painting, sometimes people start out with a charcoal. So you're going to learn that regardless. There's no reason for me to take charcoal if I'm going to learn that in oil painting. In drawing, I'm going to learn drawing while I learn how to paint. So these are ways for people, for them to keep you in there longer and getting more money from you. And 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 then they never teach you all the real tricks, like stuff that, like the real stuff, but you don't see that on YouTube. You don't see that in books. That's like stuff that you learn from people, pass it down from person to person. And that's stuff that I've mentioned, and I have spoken about stuff like that. But, certain ways of mixing medium, how to prepare your paint, how to lay your paint down in such a way that you want it to illuminate back at the viewer a certain way. These are all techniques that artists know, how to do all these things. When you do a sunflower and you do the leaf, do you want the stroke to be a stroke that or do you want it to reflect the light, pick up the light like a reflector, that when it captures the light, there's enough of a flat surface for it to pick up the light, right? And then the thickness of the paint when you apply to develop shadows within the width of that stroke. It's going to have an area where it's going to have an edge and it will pick up a shadow along next to that other brush mark that's applied next to it. It's all little trickery like that. Yeah, but you spend years doing it, and you're always going to be learning. You're never going to stop learning. This is something you're going to continue to learn to do all your life. I'm still learning. And sometimes for some people it's even, it will get to a point that you might be by yourself for years and not have anyone there to encourage you or tell you, oh, that looks good. So you just won't know. For 10 years you'll continue to work and you just don't know. That you've already surpassed everything. You're already, but you just don't know. You just continue to pop out paintings. And then we'll do paintings of painters from the past to kind of, well, if I can paint like that, if I'm able to do a painting just like this artist, that means I'm just as good as he is. Oh, and if it says in this book that it took this artist 3 weeks to complete this painting, and I did it in 2 hours, and I'm comparing mine to his, and mine looks just as good as his, well then that makes me you do stupid things, you think this way. Yeah, you think like that. Then it's like, I remember when I first said, well, when am I an artist? When I get my brushes, when I go to the art store and purchase these brushes and these paints, can I call myself an artist now? Or do I have to wait years? How does that work? Stupid stuff. Then you go in the store and you like see all these millions of colors. You're like, cadmium red, this one crimson, all these different Venetian red. You're like, how the hell am I ever going to learn all these colors? But you do. Different brushes, different hands, different handles, different ways of holding the brush. Backgrounds. They don't talk. How many art books have you read and they barely talk about the background of a painting? Do they talk about the background? How do you get the main subject to stand out? I mean, the background it also competes with the main subject if you don't do it correctly. If those values are too overpowering, it would just make the image, it won't stand out. It won't stand out. All this stuff. And you learn it, like I did. You learn it. And the best, what I noticed, the best way how to learn it? It's not those fucking teachers at the art student. It's not those videotapes, those DVDs. It's not those books. It's right in your face. It's those great painters. You look at the work and you study it. That's so much information on that one painting. If you study it correctly, if you look at a Velázquez and study it, everything is there that you could ever learn. Yep, you can learn more from a Velázquez than from any other teacher. Let me see, I'm going to come here and on board. But it takes time, that's the whole thing. It takes time. If you don't put the effort, you don't put the effort, you're going to get stuck. You're going to be stuck forever. You're going to get stuck and stay stuck forever. What a joint I was working at. I was pretty happy the way this watercolor looks on this paper. Looks real nice. It sits on top. That's the thing about watercolor I noticed when I was trying to learn how to work with watercolor. You got the watercolor paper that's designed for watercolor. It's like a sponge. It soaks the paint, the water, like a sponge. And those colors have to reflect all that color back to the viewer through all these layers of paper, cotton, all these weaves of paper. And then, But then I noticed other papers that it does soak the paper, it does soak the paint, but not as much because it's not watercolor paper, it's just regular paper. So it doesn't go so deep down in the paper. The color just grabs on at the very top layer and it sits on top of the paper. So you see more of the color compared to where you would see it on a watercolor paper. So I was wondering, maybe all this bullshit with this watercolor paper is all bullshit. Because if you think about the Chinese, they paint on rice paper and it's so thin. So thin. The color basically sits on top. And the work looks so much vibrant compared to this watercolor paper. The colors soak, sit, sit. Like, let's say, if we look at a sponge, where's that sponge that was looking at? If you look at a sponge, now let's say this is a watercolor paper, So that color is going to soak all the way through all these layers, and it's going to stop where it can't get soaked no more, and then you're going to look at it, and it's going to, from here you're going to see the image. But before you see that image and you see the colors, it has to come through all that bullshit, killing the color. So the good thing about watercolor paper, it's good for lifting. Because usually in the beginning people lift can make a lot of mistakes. So you prefer this type of paper, but really regular, simple. This is a dollar store paper. From the dollar store. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, holy shit. And I just didn't, come up with that, just using this paper. I've thought about this a long time. And you look at other watercolors I've done with supposed to be watercolor paper, good paper, and they don't look as good. So because if you look at Sargent's paintings, his watercolors, it's not watercolor paper. It's fucking regular drawing paper. You know? It's regular drawing paper. And the thing is, when you're working with drawing paper, you can't be there too long with the paper. You gotta be sure of your marking. Because if you stay too long in one spot, it's gonna break down on you. But this paper, I didn't, it was just good enough for me to, But there's a lot of stuff today in the art world. People are telling people a lot of bullshit about art, and they don't know what they're talking about. Which I listen to it, and I don't, Like I told you, I sometimes can't explain my words right, because I've overworked myself, and I caught that stroke. And, so that's how it is. You just gotta continue to work and do what you gotta do, I just continue to paint. I don't even, everything else, I don't feed into it, no. All those techniques of different artists talking about this and that, I just don't listen to it. Because if you listen to people today, people are just so stupid, so dumb, dumb, you know, real dumb, man. I don't have time for it. I really don't. What happened here? This was all supposed to get lighter. I put this, like I have my system connected with Linux, so my system, I did that because of my ex, so I can find out when she logs on, and it gives me automatically the IP and everything when people log in, and I'm able to get a location and an IP and even a name if it comes on, the message comes to a phone, and then I'm also, this same app too, Linux, is you're also even able to mute, where they continue to, but it's not coming through. It's, they see you, they see your video because sometimes you enjoy, you know, but that's it. And this bro was like coming on my page for the longest, and I'm like stalking my ass. Like, what the hell is wrong with this broad? But it wasn't her. It was some other broad that it just doesn't have nothing better to do. It's like, damn, it's not like I had a fucking 12-inch, It's like, the fuck is up with the obsession? And so the other day that shit got stuck on the fucking stove. That was crazy. I left it over there and I'm like making coffee, I'm smelling something, I'm like, what the fuck? And I go and it's the fucking sketchbook. Isn't that crazy? But it's fucking cool. I should probably do a drawing with it, right? And add to it. Like, what was... Yeah, man, the world has went crazy. It's like you can always tell the person is very immature by the way they just continue to, you know, it's so fucking stupid. You think it's so weird in your 50s and still very immature. Well, what are you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Remember that painting? What's this? There's that one. That's oh, that looks cool. That's yeah, I think maybe he's queer. He's gotta be queer. Trans, I don't know. Got a million fucking pronouns. Just fucking confused. Where the fuck is the let me go get some coffee real quick. So I can look at the chair. Oh shit, I can just do that. Heat this up, I don't care. Heat that up, give it 10 seconds. This is the Iceman right here. This is how he would strategize. It's like I could imagine how people felt when they found out that the Iceman was coming for their ass. Like from all the people in the world, they had to get the one person to come after their ass. It's like Hitler. Who the hell ever thought that Hitler was a watercolorist? But a crazy motherfucker. But then by that time, it's too late. It's too late. So what happened? How long you let me introduce myself? I'm the Iceman. Cause that video on YouTube with the Iceman, he's like a comb. He's like, that dude was like really, oh shit. I have to sharpen the pencil again. I enjoy doing that. Second time I broke that pencil. Where's that? I think what I'm gonna do, if I don't have to hold this, I'm gonna put this right here. Yeah, I'll do it this way. And then let me see. Let me make a screenshot. Okay. His fucking daughter. How is it over there in Pennsylvania? Have you wiped your ass today? Have you wiped your ass today? How is it over there in Pennsylvania? Your daddy has gone. Okay. Let me put this all this way. There you go. Let me do it this way. Looking crazy. Are you crazy? You living. You have no life that you're listening to, and not like me, who's more crazy. Don't you just love when? I used to love that. Should probably go back to work. Start to clean things up a little bit. ¿Verdad que sí? Oye, que la vaina, loco. Tú te estás metiendo en tremendo. Estás jodiendo con cogiendo chance. Oh, oh, que la vaina, loco. Okay, I got that. Damn it. Okay, that's better that way. Yeah, that's fine. Let me adjust that, and then I'll see what I have to do. Let's see if I have to fix it. Excuse me. Excuse me. What the fuck? Wait a minute, because I did that, right? Okay, let me do it this way, maybe. Maybe. Yep. We'll see. That looks cool, man. I kind of like that. I really do. It does look good. That looks cool. I don't know what the fuck these bastards. These son of a bitches. These bastards. They left me here with my work, my madness. They left me here with my madness. You ever seen that song? Oh, fuck. What's that song? It's called Take It Up Your Ass. Why the fuck are you doing that? Let me just do it this way, because I can't seem to get nothing. Nothing. You bastards. Why don't you stay still? I was thinking about the next painting I will paint. Why is always the next painting? Why is it always the next painting? I was thinking about doing a painting with Van Gogh sitting on the train, on the MTA regular train. And then I'll have Rembrandt standing up on the train holding the rail. And Van Gogh can be reading the New York Times. The whole train will be full of artists that I admire and I have always looked up to, all on the train. And I'll be on that train. But I'll be the conductor coming into the train. And some of them will look at me. Van Gogh would kindly be sitting there with the paper. He'll take a look at me. So what do we have here? What do we have here? What do we have here? When is it gonna happen? And these bastards said that they would never do the same thing again. They would never ignore another Van Gogh. They lie. They lie. Because there's so many of us out there. So many great painters out there. I've met a few. I've met a few. I've met a few in their studios, stuck with the corona, running out of white paint, reaching out. Paul, do you have an extra tube of white? So listen, I only have 4 tubes, but I'll let you have this one. It's a 40 mil tube. By the way, what are you working on? Well, you should see it. You know, I was thinking about doing also a painting of all these politicians fucking each other in a round circle. Everyone fucking each other. Hillary fucking this politician. Some that can't fuck, they can finger each other. But everyone is fucking each other in this round circle. Or maybe a big line of all these politicians, and have the Statue of Liberty laid down with her legs cracked open, and have a line of everyone that has fucked the Constitution, trying to destroy this great country, which they will, and then when they do it, they'll fucking regret it, because they'll go so crazy that they'll pray that things can go back to the way it used to once be. Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect, but at least you can, it's a lot better than a lot of other places. But they can figure it out when I'm gone. Because we're all going to be in a refrigerator with a tog in your toe. They'll come and you'll die. They'll come and pick you up, put you in a van or an ambulance truck. And if you don't make it, you'll make it to one place most definitely everyone will make it to is that refrigerator in that hospital where you live in. You're going to make it into that refrigerator, where many have made it. Like Los Angeles, that hospital that's right there near Los Angeles. How many of those movie stars have made it into that freezer back there? Huh? How many of them? All of them. They all make it through there. They all get that tea cut. Pull all your stuff out. That's heavy, huh? Can you deal with that? You have to deal with it, and you have to think about it. You don't have to, but, I mean, I'm okay with it. It's fucking life. Okay. Where's my glasses? There's so many artists, but there's something missing in art that I still cannot put my finger on it. And I try to search and search and search, but I just can't put my finger on it. Like that painting right there, it's not a Van Gogh, it's my arrangement. It's not even a copy of a picture of some flowers, but it's done in, well, basically anything that you paint in sunflowers, it's automatically a Van Gogh. Everybody was, it's a Van Gogh. Well, why? Because it's sunflowers. I mean, this is how I painted these flowers. I didn't mean for it to look like a Van Gogh. It just happened to look that way. Maybe because I've been studying this guy for so long, I don't know, but it's my arrangement. I didn't copy him. My colors, sunflowers are yellow, and I got the vase from up there. Didn't put the handles on it, but it's my vase. But there's something missing. Something is missing. Just don't know what it is. Something is missing in art. Just trying to figure, okay, now, you see when you sharpen the charcoal now, you have this cut like that, right? Usually you have to sharpen it. But I'm going to leave it that way. I don't want to waste it. Let's find something. An image, something to work from. Look at this guy, he's got feathers on his fucking head. Oh, this guy's got feathers. Look at this dude. He's probably dead by now. Oh man, like, I want to see this. This is, oh, look at this. I was just talking about death. Holy shit. Let's paint death. people paint death. Okay. So let's put. You're looking for certain features in the face. Certain features in the face, and then when you're looking down, it says the skin lays over the lotion. It does this every time it's told. Find this motherfucker here. Francis Bacon. This bastard made it on the strength of his name, I think. Capture the essence. Art is the most beautiful thing. There's nothing more beautiful than art. You think about it, isn't it something that art is the most expensive thing in the world? There's no diamond worth more. I mean, think about it. Some of these paintings that have sold for $250 million. It's crazy. I guess when you buy a painting, you're buying basically a person in a sense. You're buying. There's nothing. You can't get that from a diamond or gold. This is this is the cheek. The pillow branches out from there. And there's something here. Yeah, he's got that phone. I hope they, well, I don't know if they will, but it was one of, and the hand is dropped softly on his midsection. He's holding some wallflowers, I think. This painting is drawing his pictures done in, I think in the 18th century. 18th century. 18th century. He probably still has family members that are related to him. Yes. And then, this is, over here, where's the tissue at? I think I had a piece of tissue that was already folded. Where the hell is it? Oh, shut up. I better get me a phone. Any of you people that are watching my video, any of you motherfuckers rich? can send me a fucking phone. People, they fear death. All those people that you see in black and white images on the internet, they probably thought about it, spoke about it the way I'm speaking about it now. And they were like, oh shit, I wonder how would it be when it's my time to go. And it came and went, and they're gone. And it wasn't all that hard. I don't know why I always go back to death. I don't know. And then his hands. This part there's no channel, but you see, and then kind of. He got dead eyes. Gotta capture that the dead eyes. Okay, what is it? Let me zoom up over here. Let's look at the eyes. And let's save it just in case. Let me save it again in portraits. Okay. Come on, buddy. Let's examine these eyes. Those eyes. You ever heard that song before? Those eyes. That ass. Okay, so the top gives is a roundness of the pupil. And then shut the fuck up. Why are you fucking bothering me for? Mr. Android? You know I hate your guts. Always did, always will. But you just happen to be the only motherfucker I can afford now. Okay, then he comes here. And I'm gonna get the eraser. Where is the, oh, here it goes. When you do a drawing, over here, this drawing, I have to, well, you come with a hard charcoal to get to a quick sketch, and very likely that way you can erase if you make any mistakes. But once you're committed and you more or less have an idea what you want to sketch, you want to put it down, you can come with your tissue and move and push and pull things. And you're only going to be able to do that with charcoal that is soft, that something, a pencil that's leaving a lot of charcoal behind. Let me see, I'll turn this one. Yeah, this baby right here. I can come over here. Then you gotta come in, put down and take. You can tell them that you learned a lot from me. I was your teacher. My teacher was P. Masters. He was a little wacko, but he was a nice guy. He didn't bother anyone. Kept to himself. He never really had much, but he just thought that he could maybe make the world a better place through his art. Let me turn on the message things, because I'm getting the thing that there's messages, but I can't see them because I got the, let me turn it on. Okay, what's going on here? Did you? Paul Gauguin. Paul Gauguin. So your name is Paul. Great. Great. I don't know if either to feel sad for you or happy. You have a name of a person that's been through hell, misery, that was tortured, and Paul the Apostle. A very wise man. That basically wrote a lot of the scriptures, wrote to the churches, and a very wise man. But I can't express my intelligence now because the stroke has killed that area in my brain that used to make me sound a little more intelligent. 25 years of marriage kind of does that. But I don't know, because I never really been so good about doctors, so I don't know if it's a stroke or what the hell. Maybe some microevolution. I don't need words anymore. You hear the neighbor upstairs, a fucking gorilla. Say, motherfucker, lift up your feet when you walk. Do you know how to lift up your feet, motherfucker? I don't lift your fucking feet, man. The fuck, man? People live underneath you. You hate that when people like walk so damn hard? Hate that shit. Oh, shut up. Why are you such a pain in the ass, this phone? It's the cable, and it's like you buy cables thinking that it's gonna, yeah, it works, and then after a while They get fucked up. Oh, let me read a little bit of Paul's message to me. One of my viewers. He writes, why? This Paul Green. Okay, there's green. Okay. Do you have a lot of green? Paul Green? Do you listen to Alex? Yeah, I told you. To the mystery, I have listened to it. Listen to it. Ukraine. Yeah, fucking Putin has got a great life. Has a fucking great life. Fucking guy's got a great life. I mean, imagine that, being poor and having all that. Don't have to worry about pain, right? Like, that dude doesn't have to worry about pain. But I don't know, I kind of have some respect for him. Because what he's saying is, listen, you people are getting a little too fucking close here, man. Have some respect. These people are talking about putting stuff in his border, NATO. It's like, what's next? After they do that, like, what the fuck are we gonna do next after these people? It's like, they shouldn't even mess with porn. They should really leave this man alone. You wouldn't mess with that man. Man. Especially porn, the damage that man is able to do. Okay. Put this over here. Okay. Alright, guys. That's fucking it for now. Enough of this bullshit for today. Alright. Wampa Room. I see you guys maybe later on. Wampa Room, and have a good day and evening. Make sure you put your blocks back in the shelf where you took them out of, and no running in the hallway. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.